Hey, John here. So we got this leaf vacuum trailer dropped off, and the task today is try to get this engine swapped out. That might seem easy because it's just 4 bolts and a shaft going through to a propeller. How hard could it be, right? Well, the last time I dealt with one of these, it's nearly impossible to get this shaft off. So this engine is seized. I'm going to work on this one first. If I can get this shaft out, we're going to do, here, I'll go show you in the back. Probably a little too dark in there, but he also has another vacuum, a little smaller unit, but it's got the engine, the same engine. Well, it's a couple more horsepower, but same thing, Vanguard. So if I can get that shaft off front, and if that works out well, we're going to try to just use this engine on the already existing Little Wonder. So I think the first order of business, let's get rid of this plate and see if we can get this. Wouldn't it be nice if that whole impeller just slid right off there? Yeah, what do you think the odds of this thing coming apart? It's a bird's nest, for Christ's sakes. It's been a while. Okay, so taking this bolt off, right, this was here, no problem. I put the bolt back in because I'm going to try to use a hub tamer. This is a, when rusted hubs, or not hubs, rotors and that sort of thing, it works good for drums that are stuck on. It's got these little ears that are adjustable, right? So, and I know pulling on these wheels you can't really do because it'll warp them or tweak them. But this centerpiece is so thick right here and everything's welded to it that I think we can get away with, I'll put a bolt here against this bolt because this has a tit on it, but I'm thinking something like this, right? If we can grab that and that, with the two ears here, this thing's pretty heavy duty. If it's going to go, it'll go. And I do have, I don't know if this wrench I have here, this impact, it's only 500, but I got 1,000 in the basement that we can get out. And we'll try to pull this off and get lucky. Then we'll have to see if we can get lucky with the other one, because just from my experience, these things are so welded on, they're hard to get off. Actually, I don't know if we're going to be able to center this thing, son of a gun. Alright, so like I said, this looks like a grade 8 bolt. The tool would not fit because either the ear is here and then there's a spoke in the way. So what I think I'm going to do is these ears are replaceable. So I just drilled a hole and now I'm going to make 2 slots, right? So it'll fit around that spoke and then we'll do it like that. It's the only way I can do that. We should be good now. It's like that Terminator movie. Yeah, so that'll work. And then we have the other one that goes directly opposite. And we'll see if that'll work. Alright, so this I think is actually working. So what I've done is I'll hit it with the impact, and then take everything apart, rotate it a spoke, take everything apart, rotate it a spoke. Haven't gone all the way around yet, but I couldn't get my fingers behind this flywheel, and now I'm deep into the knuckles now, so I know it's coming off. It's even too. The problem that I've had in the past, if you have some kind of puller that reaches the outside, I know how thick this looks, but it will warp it. You don't want to warp this thing because when this thing's going around 1,000,000 miles an hour, it's going to be like a messed up washing machine, So, yeah, she's definitely coming. I keep having to back her off and back the screw off a little bit because as it's coming in, you don't want to get into this hub here. So, but what I'm concerned about now is these blades. So these must be what the cutouts here are for. So the blade can fit in. This engine is seized, so I can't move it. So hopefully we got enough. And like I said, this should be the last time because I'm pretty much, you can get your hands behind here, no problem. I don't know how long we got to go, but I'm hoping this time. Good news is I just was able to rotate this enough. So the engine was seized, but whatever just broke loose. I think I got, it's almost aligned now. I think we can get it out now. Alright, so we got to be so close. I mean, I can literally fit a fist behind there. I cannot believe this. That might be the actual shaft going up and down, but got this little piece of aluminum, which aluminum can bend really easy, right? But it's good enough thickness where we got about 1 inch left. Otherwise, I have to go and get a longer bolt where we could thread it in. I don't want to do that because A, I'm so close, and B, I've had a couple of these. I don't want to go anywhere. So let's try this. Well, that's good news. Thing just popped off of there. Oh my God. I thought we were good. Oh yeah, we're good. Can't even believe this thing fought to the last. Last second. It's like I don't want to come off of there. Oh, there we go. Good Lord. Oh yeah, she's rusted on there. Whoa, this thing's heavy. So it is rusted on there, which that's probably not even bad, because it did move, but this is all rust. Now the bolts on the engine, there's just 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this should be a no-brainer, and of course it's bolted to, you know, the 4 bolts here bolted to the engine itself. Now the new engine, whether that has the same bolts, hopefully we'll get lucky, because this is a 16, I think this is a 16. This is the 16 Vanguard, and the one we're dealing with in there is an 18 Vanguard. So the odds of the bolts being different, the holes rather, are slim to none in my experience. So we're going to have 8 bolts, and this thing should come out of there. So, well, this one came right off, no problem. It was no resistance whatsoever. But unfortunately, the shaft is not only shorter, that's a 3-inch shaft poke out there, and the one up front there is a 4-inch, plus that's a 1-inch diameter, and of course the one up there is an 1 1/8. They do make sleeves for them, so I'm gonna have to get a sleeve, and we'll make it work that way. So the hard part is done. Getting those impellers off are the hardest part. Now this is the Billy Goat, which did not have these. I'm glad the threads are the same and they're tapped out, because on the unit we're taking it off, we need to bolt that to the housing. This might be in a way. I got to look at the other muffler. It is their muffler is over here, but hopefully this doesn't impede. I'm not sure how that's going to go yet. I got to look. But actually, let's go look right now. There, so those are the 4 bolts there. So we got 4 bolts here, and then the 4 bolts, we're taking them out on the base of the engine, right? So this thing should slide right out. This is where the discrepancy could have been. So that muffler pipe, the exhaust pipe there, it looks the same. It's directly under the gas tank, just like the other one. Although the other one has, you know, a heat shield that sticks out a little more. I don't know if we're going to be able to use that. Doesn't matter. This one doesn't have it, but this clearly, you could stick your finger in between these two. We couldn't use that muffler if we want to try. So the other muffler, so this side is the muffler here, but the other engine has the muffler on this side, which it appears there's going to be room, but this is wood. So I'll have to put, I plan on putting some, I'll put some stainless steel on, you know, for a deflector. Alright, so this is the inch shaft. I'm just cleaning it up a little bit with some emery cloth, and I've got a 1 inch to 1 1/8 sleeve adapter, but look, it's a little bit oblong. You never get anything that you're yeah, without being damaged, and it's supposed to be stainless, and it doesn't appear to be. It's supposed to be stainless. Not that it makes a difference if it ain't stainless, but I hate when they advertise stainless and then just because it looks like stainless, it isn't stainless. Or at least not in a good grade of stainless. So this isn't really fitting on, so I'm hoping, and I just tried to put it in the other one, and it's a little snug, but that needs to be cleaned up too, that propeller. But because it's a little bit oblong, I might have to mash this on, put the keyway in, and mash that propeller blade on, because Look at that. It's exactly an inch. This is an inch, so this ain't gonna work. And then it's supposed to be an inch and an eighth, which that is. It's an inch and an eighth on the OD. But you can't get the inch around there, so I might have to clip this on the ends there. It's the only thing I could think of. Yeah, so I just cut the edge. I can get it on, I can hammer it on, but I've noticed in here, the way they tooled it, you know, cut this slot out, it's raised. I could feel, you know, on the inside, whatever they used to cut this, a laser, whatever, I could feel a lip on the inside. So I'm going to take a file and try to file that down, because if we try to stick it over this with that raised lip and it sticks up, you know, because I don't think it's going to be in the keyway. Well, that's about as smooth as I can get it. It's about as smooth as I can get it. And just as I expected, it's a C here too small. I could see the, you're probably not going to see that, but I could see the, you could just make it out. I could see the whole bushing, or the whole, you know, adapter, but it just ain't going on. So, and I don't have a bolt long enough to try to draw it on, but it seems like, I mean, it's hard to tell because you can't see nothing, but it seems like it's, I mean, it's definitely on the edge, but I can't draw it in. So I guess I'll go get a longer bolt, see if I could draw it in. I'll lube it up. Otherwise, I don't know, I'll have to come up with plan B. Alright, so the original shaft was 28.5, we'll call it millimeters. I switched to millimeters. And this shaft is, this impeller won't fit on there, so I think it's a millimeter off. Like, so 28.5. And this is 29.2, right? We're going to start the engine, and then we're just going to sit there with an emery cloth and see if we can take off a millimeter. It's the only thing I can think of. Other than that, I've done it another way. Another method I have, it'll definitely remove some stuff, but you might go too far. And obviously, we need this thing to fit like it was. So. So I just did another 3 to 5 minutes, something like that, and it went down by a point. You know, it's still 29.1, so it's going to take too long. So here's another alternative method. I do have a flap wheel disc, which I'll probably change out, but the idea is, like, I know this will remove that, but you got to be careful not to go too far. So with this machine running and this machine running, right, at the same time, we can take off as much as we want, right? With both things running, there'll be a spark show, but so I think I'm going to try to flap wheel, because this is aggressive. Not a, you know, it's a wheel, but let me get the flap wheel and try to remove, do a couple passes, see if that works. Because the emery cloth, even though it's actually, I got some sandpaper. Let me go see. I got like 100 grit sandpaper. Let me try some sandpaper first. So I went with a 60 just to see what happened. I just did it for a minute, but I can already see, like when the thing was rotating, it's almost like a lathe. You can see it coming off. So 28.5 is the original shaft. So I stopped it immediately. I only went like a minute. So this is, so we got a 28.8 here, 28.9. I still got 29. in the back. So let me work on this. So I'll start this up. That worked out pretty good. And I'll grab it in the back. I'll favor everything. Alright, so we are making some serious progress. It's actually on the shaft. Just wiggling it back and forth. We got a little ways to go, but we're actually on the shaft because I can see A, feel B. So we're really close. So we're getting close to the magic number. I'm at 28 point whatever inch spots, and it's still a little warm. But you can see the lathe effect with the 60 grit. I might switch to 100 here soon because we're getting really close. So here, let me show you. Alright, so I'm running out of daylight here, and I wanted to get this done today. So we're going to do some risky business here. I'm going to take a flap wheel, right, and just give it a few while the engine is running and the wheel is running. I got to take off more material because it's taking too long with a sandpaper. Ooh, 28 point. Alright, so we're getting close now. That's 28.6. We're really close. Okay, so that took a minute. I kept, you know, like I said, just working it. So we're 28.48 to 28.5 to 28. That's 28.55. 28.5. You know, we are golden. 28.56. The 100,000ths is not going to make a difference. So this thing should fit like a glove. Not like OJ's glove, but it should fit pretty good. And then we have to worry about the step out in terms of, because this is 3 inches, and we had originally it was 4 inches, and I've already got a plan in place there. So, so according to my calculations, the original shaft for this machine was 3 7/8, and this shaft for the other machine is 2 7/8. So we got an inch. So I cut like a bushing. It was an 1.5 inches. So I cut it the best I could to go with. Hopefully, now when we put this impeller on, it's going to bottom out here and be the same. That's all I can say. So we're good to go. So let me actually I just drop. I'm not going to. There's no way for me to put the thing in and keep this there. So I'm going to drop this in the impeller, and I'm going to bolt this up, and hopefully this will work. So we'll see if we can get this first try. It's a little difficult to see. Just drop that in. Because last time we had to jock it, but I'm going to just leave it where it is and see if we can just get lucky. See where we're right over there. It's going to be nearly impossible to see in there. So hopefully, nothing. Hopefully nothing will move, but oh, I think we got it. Wow. So it did bottom out. I can see that. As long as we don't have no, yeah, it's not scraping. It's bottomed out. That's cool. That's very cool. So I did not know what size bolt I needed. They're 3/8 by 24, the old one. And obviously this bolt hole was bigger, but I gotta get a washer too. But, so I think the shorter one might do it. Oh no, because we got to reach way in there for, yeah, the shorter one's not going to do it. Actually, it's just catching there. Interesting enough. So hopefully that other thing's got some thread. We got to get a washer. We'll use the medium fella. Ooh. So I think this is going to work out. I mean, the you probably can't see that. The bushing is touching the back side of this, so it can't go any further in. And I think this the bolt that came out of here was just a bolt. Did I have a washer? I forgot if I had a washer or not. The other one, the shaft that came up here, I'm going to use that off the billy goat. So, because it matches this. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put a little, maybe not. It's going to put a little Loctite on there, but oh, there it goes. Probably don't need it, but we'll do it anyways. So this is it. Oh, forgot the damn. Forgot the damn talon. What happens? Try turning it on. Oh, that thing pulls a little harder with that blade on it. Let's try a hot choke. Alright, so we're done here. So two things we learned. I'll start up in a second, show you. It worked good. The first thing is that OTC hub tamer was a way to get that impeller off. Now I don't know if they make a tool for that, or what kind of puller you would use, but certainly when it's seized on or stuck on pretty good, that tool we had to modify it a little bit, but worked really good. And the other thing was getting the shaft to the correct diameter and the length, and we used that adapter, and again, it works good. We figured it out basically, as opposed to swapping in the engine is way easier than if we had to take that billy goat and make a contraption like this to fit that, because it's not going to bolt up. It was a much smaller machine, so it ended up being pretty good. There was a few moves I had to make. Let me take a little closer. So this engine had, the original engine rather, had the muffler coming out this way, out in the open, and this is towards the towards where you don't want it. This muffler is. So what I ended up doing, because where this muffler points out was on plywood, and I don't know what the distance or the flash point from the muffler to plywood is, but we took no chances. Added a piece of nice stainless, pretty thick stuff that will take up the heat and won't, obviously won't penetrate through that. But other than that, this thing, I'll start up in a second here, but it came out pretty good. I didn't think we were going to be able to do it, but it's done, and we're moving on. So anyways, I think this guy's gonna be happy. Didn't cost much. He bought the engine, or the the other thing, the billy goat. This is just a matter of a swap, so it did come out good. I was just eating up some cardboard there. It'll do some damage on sleeve. Anyways, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. See you next time.